Shalom, shalom. Mishpacha Wahabarim. What up? It's your girl, Sister Ashanti on YouTube. 916 Shanshan on the Facebook. Shanti Doc, right? I decided to do this video for people who want to learn the basics of biblical Hebrew and want to come into the class that has already started. These are going to be some foundational videos that help you get the proper groundwork, so that you can be able to hop in the class, be comfortable, get caught up, and things of that nature. So it's going to be a series, of course. So I'm going to have three videos. The first video is going to cover chapter 1 of Basics of Biblical Hebrew by Gary Pratical and Miles Van Pelt. And then the next two videos are going to cover chapter 2 and then chapter 3. So this video, chapter 1, is going to be learning the Hebrew Alephbet and a few other things, transliteration, knowing what numerical value goes with the Hebrew Alephbet, and also knowing how to write them. And chapter 2, the next video, is going to show the vowel points, or the nukud, what sounds they make and what symbols go along with them, right? What combination of dots and lines, konko, go along with the sounds that the vowels make. And then the last video is going to be the syllabification. You're pretty much learning a consonant plus a vowel equals a sound, or you're learning that a consonant plus a vowel equals a syllable, right? All right, so with that being said, the book that students are learning from is this one. Get the glare off of it. It's called Basics of Biblical Hebrew, Gary Pratico and Miles Van Pelt. This is the grammar book. Now, there is a workbook you can purchase along with that, right? If you do want to get the workbook, that's up to you. However, I do not assign workbook lessons because not everyone purchases the workbook. All right. This is what edition is this? I'm trying to see because the authors of the book, they just came out with a 3rd edition. If you do want to purchase the 3rd edition, go ahead. It's not going to be too far off from this, but all the lessons are still going to be there, and all the lessons are going to correspond to one another, right? It's not going to be much off. All right, so now I'm just going to be going over chapter 1. Going to be reading some things from the book, going to be showing you a little bit from the book, which is in PDF form. The PDF only has about 200 or so odd pages out of the entire physical book. The entire physical book has about 480 pages. That includes a subject index and a little glossary, and Hebrew verb charts and things of that nature, right? So you could get the verb charts and stuff offline, and I'll share a link with those who want that. All right, so I'm going to be switching back and forth from reading the book and then showing you some PDFs from the book, right? And then I'm also going to share my screen. I'm going to have a whiteboard up, and then I'm going to actually kind of draw the Alephbet out so that you can practice writing them, to get familiar with training your eyes to recognize the grapheme, the script, how it looks, and then making sure you're getting a sound registered for each grapheme you see, right? You're readjusting your memory for this. All right. So here we go. All right, so let me share the screen. All right, so let's move this over here so everyone can see the screen, right? Okay, that makes sense. Let me move my little picture up over there. Alrighty, so this is chapter 1. This is the Hebrew Alephbet, has 23 consonants. The letter to the far left, we're going to start to the far left, right? You have the letter, name, pronunciation, and transliteration, right? So the first letter there, all right, here's Aleph. That's the name of it, Aleph. You can spell it A-L-E-F or A-L-E-P-H. All right, the pronunciation is silent. It's one of those guttural letters. It's a guttural letter, like a glottal stop, like you know how the British talk, right? They'd be like, I want some water. So it's like, it's silent, right? It's silent. And the transliteration for that letter, when you're transliterating, is going to be this little like apostrophe there, right? So transliteration, pretty much you see that our primary language, which is English, which is English, you're pretty much taking one letter and having a representation for that letter in your primary language, right? So next is the bet, the letter bet. You could spell it B-E-T, right? Bet. That does not mean Black Entertainment Television. Bet. And it's b as in boy. And the transliteration in our English vernacular would be B, right? So when you're transliterating, which means when you're writing out a word from Hebrew to the English, you know, when you see a bet in a word, you would put the representation of the English letter B for that, right? Hope you guys are understanding transliteration a little bit, right? After I go over these, I'm going to write them out for you, okay? Gimel, Gimel, as in God, right? Transliteration is that G. Next letter we have is the Dalet, Dalet, D-A-L-E-T, as in day. Transliteration is D. The next letter is Hey. You can write it out H-E-H or H-E. I'll write it out as H-E-H so that I won't be pronunciating that as he when I see it, right? But it's as in hey, and the transliteration letter to represent the hey sound would be our H in our English vernacular, right? The hey is also known as one of those guttural letters, right? It's just like from the gut. It's more breathy, as you heard the right? All right. The next consonant or letter is wa, W-A-W, wa. Wa, as in way. And the transliteration is W, right? I know in the modern Hebrew pronunciation, this consonant or this letter, wa, is known as a vav as well. Vav, V-A-V, vav, right? So let's move on. Next consonant is the zayin. Zayin, Z-A-Y-I-N, Z as in Zion, transliteration Z, right? Next consonant or letter is chet. Chet. Now this, the name of it, chet, you can actually write it out as C-H-E-T. C-H-E-T. It's as in Bach, Bach, Bach. And the transliteration of that letter in our English vernacular, you will have an H with a dot under it, right? So it's like you're about to cough up a loogie or something, just getting it ready, right? Let's see. After het, we have right here, tet, T-E-T, tet, as in toy. The transliteration for that would be a T with a dot under it, tet. All right. The next consonant or letter we have is yod. Y-O-D, yod, ya, as in yes. Transliteration for that would be Y in our English, right? Next consonant is kaf. It looks like a backwards C. Kaf. You can write K-A-F, right? K-A-F. And it's as in king, right? As in king. You would transliterate that as K in our language, right? Next consonant is lamed, 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 L-A-M-E-D, lamed, and it's la, as in lion, and the transliteration letter would be L. Next consonant or letter would be mem, 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 M-E-M, as in mother. The transliteration letter for that is M, right? Next consonant or letter is noon, N-U-N, noon. N, as in now. So the transliteration letter for that is the letter N in our English, right? The next consonant or letter is samek, S-A-M-E-K, and that's as in sin. Transliteration letter is the S. All right. Next letter or consonant is the I-N, A-Y-I-N, and it's a silent letter. It's one of those silent guttural letters, right? Silent guttural letters, and it would be just and this is the consonant or letter that actually starts the word Gomorrah. This looks like gotta like when you gargling, it's like that soft G there, right? But it's silent. It's a silent letter, so it's I-N, I-N, I-N. And the transliteration symbol here is like it's like a backwards apostrophe, right? It's like a backwards apostrophe right there. All right, next consonant or letter is a pay or fey, right? But it's actually called pay. The pay, we'll get to that in a minute. And when you see a dot inside of this consonant right here, it's actually the hard sound of pay. When that consonant or letter does not have a dot inside of it, it's fey, right? So P-E, right, for pay, and or you can write F-E for fey. And pretty much it's p as in pastor, right? So when it has the hard sound of pay, it's pastor. When it has the fey sound, it has the like f as in feet, right? The next consonant or letter would be sade, T-S-A-D-E, T-S-A-D-E, sade, and that is ts, as in boots, tss, right? Tss. And so the transliteration letter would be that S with the dot underneath, right? Next letter or consonant is kof, Q-O-F, kof. And it has the same pronunciation as king. But the transliteration letter for that is a Q, right? It's a Q. All right, next consonant is resh, Resh. I know you hear that little roll in the R, right? Resh. Now this is also sometimes acting as a guttural letter, pretty much, you know, that roll a little bit from the gut. Resh. So it's r, 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 it's the R, 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 as in run, right? Run, run. And the transliteration letter, you guessed it, is R, right? All right. Next letter. Well, I usually do this the other way, but next letter or consonant is the sin. You have the dot on the top left. Sin, sin, S-I-N, and it's the s, as in sin, and then it's the transliteration letter S with like a slight mark going up to the right. Right? That's a transliteration letter for sin. The next consonant or letter is shin. Shin, S-H-I-N. And so it has the dot on the top right. The shin has the dot on the top right of the consonant, and it's sh, 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 sh as in ship, ship, all right? Transliteration letter. I know it's confusing, but it'll get better with time and practice, right, and study. So the transliteration letter for shin would be the S with the little, you know, like arrow pointing down to the S, all right? And the last letter or consonant would be ta. Taw, taw, or tav, right? Taw or tav. It's as in toy, T-A-W or T-A-V, right? As in toy. All right, the transliteration letter for that is T. So you'll start to see some differences in the transliteration, you know, with tet and ta. So, you know, the tet has the dot under the T for its transliteration, and then the ta, it's just the transliteration letter of T with no dot, right? So, and I'm gonna jam pack this video here, right? I'm gonna jam pack this video. So right now I'm gonna actually stop sharing the screen. I'm going to share a whiteboard so I can write out the consonants for you, and that you'll understand how to write them out in practice and what's their numerical value and things like that. Okay? All right. So let's pull out the pen. Let's actually share the whiteboard. Actually, let's do this first. Let's change some display settings here. Change some display settings, and then I can share the whiteboard. Let's do this. All right. Okay. Let's move my laptop in front of me so that I can write on it, okay? So the Aleph, this is how you would practice here. You would, everything is from right to left. Yamin to small. Yamin ad small. Right to left. Yamin ad small. All right, here we go with the Aleph. So Aleph is, this is how you would practice this, right? And then you would write it out. Aleph, and it has numerical value of 1. So this is how you're pretty much going to practice, right? All right, the bet. It has a numerical value of 2. Right? Numerical value of 2. Next consonant is gimel. Gimel. And it has a numerical value of 3. All right, so let's do this. Let's stop sharing for a moment here. And I'll work on the next screen. All right. So we're going to continue sharing the screen, sharing the whiteboard, going over the Alephbet and how to write them out, correct? So we left off at Gimel. So let's share the whiteboard here. All right, we left off at Gimel. Let's put this up here for right now. So we got Aleph, Bet, Gimel. Let's clear the drawing. Then we have Dalet. Right? That's how you make a Dalet. Has a numerical value of 4. Then you have the consonant or letter Hey. Right? Numerical value of 5. Then you have the Wa or the Va, right? The Vav is the modern pronunciation, and it has a numerical value of 6, right? So this is pretty much how you're going to be practicing writing the consonants out, right? So this is Dalet, Hey, Wa. All right. Next you have Zion. Let's make that a little clearer. Zion. Numerical value of 7. Next you have Chet, right? And this is closed, so that's Chet. Numerical value of 8. The next consonant is Tet, right? Numerical value of 9. And the last consonant is Yod. Yod. Numerical value of 10. Right? The next letters or consonants are Kaf. Now, the numerical values double up. So this has a numerical value of 20. The next consonant or letter is Lamed, right? Lamed. Numerical value of 30. You see what's happening here with the numerical values, right? Next consonant is Mem. pretty much the tail right there. Actually, let's do that again. Let's erase what I just did here. All right. Let's do the mem again. Mem. All right. I don't know what it is about me writing the mem, but let's try one more time. Mem. Right, mem. There we go. That's a good mem. Numerical value of 40. And then the next is noon. Right? Noon. Numerical value of 50. Right? Next you have samek. Numerical value of 60. Next you have in. Numerical value of 70, 70. So the in, numerical value of 70. Next you have pay. The pay is actually with the dot inside, and we'll talk about that dot. It's called a dagesh lene, and it's pay. You can write an H like that, pay, and it has a numerical value of 80, right? The next consonant is sade, so it's written like this. Sade. Numerical value of 90, right? 90. Sade. Let's clear that. Then you have kof. Kof, right? Now, this is where it gets a little bit trickier with the numerical value. The kof has a numerical value of 100. It's going to get a little trickier when we get into the final form or the Sofit consonants or letters, right? So the kof, numerical value of 100, 100. And then the resh is, that's the resh, numerical value of 200. Then the sin, numerical value of 300. And then the shin, and sometimes I say shin before I say the sin. All right. Shin. It also has what? A numerical value of 300. And then the ta. The ta is written like this. So ta or the tav, right? Or ta. Numerical value of 400. So that's how you're going to be practicing, right? Okay. So that was the Hebrew Alephbet, right? And then when we go over transliteration, pretty much we'll go over that as we go along in the lesson. All right, so I'm gonna clear the drawings. I'm gonna stop sharing the screen for a moment, and we're gonna read a little bit. All right, so we're gonna talk about pronouncing the aleph and the ayin. Right, so the aleph and the ayin, you have just learned that aleph and ayin are silent. They're pretty much guttural letters. They lack phonetic value. While aleph is indeed silent, the consonant ayin does have some phonetic value. For English speakers, however, the pronunciation of ayin is so subtly nuanced that for all practical purposes, we are considering it too as silent. When these two consonants are encountered in a word, neither consonant will have a phonetic value. Only their assigned vowels will be pronounced. This means that if an aleph or ayin is assigned an A class vowel, only that vowel will be pronounced. At this point, therefore, it is only important to know that aleph and ayin are silent and only their assigned vowels will have a phonetic value. All right, so as I just mentioned, well, I mentioned before, Hebrew is written from Yamin ad Shmol, right to left, right? So Hebrew is written from right to left, not left to right as in English, right? So from Yamin ad Shmol, pretty much get acquainted with that. That's why I was writing the grapheme or the consonant starting on the far right. Then I wrote out the name of the consonant. Then I wrote the numerical value. So I was pretty much writing Yamin ad Smol, right to left. All right, practice that. All right, so we're going to look at the final forms, or what's called Sophete letters. So let me explain something about the Sophete letters. Let's see something here. All right, so let's share the screen. All right, so five of the Hebrew letters have final forms. That is to say, when one of these letters occurs at the end of a word, it is written differently than when it appears at the beginning or in the middle of a word. The changing of a letter's form, however, does not change its pronunciation or transliteration. The five final forms are listed, right? And we're gonna go over those, how to write those, right? These final forms, you have to memorize them, of course. And remember that Hebrew examples are written from right to left, whereas the transliteration of the Hebrew examples given are written from left to right, right? Okay, so we see the regular form, Goff, then we see the final form, then we see the example, then we see the transliteration, then we see the translation of the word, right? So let me see if I can annotate here. Let's see. Let's use blue. All right, so remember that cough, the final form is this one right here. Right, that's your cough. So pretty much you're gonna write your cough like this. The cough Sophete. So this right here, what I just circled, is the cough Sophete. So pretty much that's how you're gonna write it in the Hebrew. I'll write it again, right? Cough Sophete. Right? Now, what you're seeing here on the screen is the script form. The script form is what you'll see when you're looking at what's called the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia, Torah Naviim uketuvim, right? This is the scripting that you'll see written inside here. Let's look at the famous Genesis 1:1, right? See that scripting? That's the scripting that you'll see when you buy or purchase a Tanakh, right? So let's get back to sharing the screen here. All right. Next, the next Sophete letter. Well, actually, let me say this before that. I'll move on. The Kaf Sophete has a numerical value of 500. All right, because the last consonant that we left off of, which was the Tal, right? The Tal has a numerical value of 400, right? So the Kaf has a numerical value of 500, right? Kaf Sophete has a numerical value of 500. The next Sophete letter is the Mem Sophete. This is the Mem Sophete, right? And to write a Mem Sophete, pretty much, it would be, that's how you write a Mem Sophete. All right. And then the Mem Sophete, it has a numerical value of 600. Okay. All right. The next consonant is the Nun Sophete. Nun Sophete. Sophete is written like this. And it pretty much means final or end form when it's in a word. Because Soph means end. Final form. Huh? Because Soph means the end. All right. All right, so the Nun Sophete, this consonant right here, the Nun Sophete, it has a numerical value of, you guessed it, 700. And pretty much the Nun Sophete would be pretty much written like this. It's like, I write mine like that. Right? Nun Sophete, or just, Nun Sophete. Nun Sophete has a numerical value of 700. All right, so we'll write that here. All right. Next consonant or letter is the Kaf. Excuse me, not the Kaf. Don't X that. The next consonant or letter is the Fe Sophete. Fe Sophete. And it has a numerical value of 800. And pretty much how you would write that is Fe, right? Fe Sophete. Has a numerical value of 800. Don't worry, I'll write them back over here again, or to the right. Okay, I'll get them to the right. So numerical value of 800 for the Fe Sophete. And the next and last consonant for the sulfite or final form would be Zadeh sulfite. Zadeh sulfite. So pretty much Zadeh sulfite would look like what it does in the red, right? So this is how you write it. Okay. The Zadeh sulfite has a numerical value of 900. All right. So the sulfite letters, I'll write them out for you over here. Qaf sulfite, mem sulfite, nun sulfite, fe sulfite, and then Zadeh sulfite, right? Let me do that again over here. Qaf sulfite, mem sulfite, nun sulfite, fe sulfite, Zadeh sulfite. All right. All right. Let's clear the screen here. Next, we're going to talk about Bagadkephat consonants. Now, the Bagadkephat consonants pretty much is an acronym, and it's an acronym for all of the consonants or letters that have like a hard sound, right? So let me read this to you. It says six of the Hebrew consonants have two possible but closely related pronunciations. Collectively, these are known as the Bagadkephat consonants. So pretty much the bet, the gimel, the dalet, the kaf, the fe, and the ta, right? This term is simply a mnemonic device allowing for the easy memorization of these 6 letters, right? To distinguish between the two pronunciations, a dot called a dagesh lene was inserted into the consonantal character. The presence of the dagesh lene indicates a hard pronunciation, and its absence denotes a soft pronunciation. A dagesh lene will only appear in the Bagadkephat letters. So when you're learning this, we should learn the different pronunciations as indicated here in the PDF, right? And so you'll notice that each letter without the dagesh lene is transliterated with a small horizontal line either below or above the English character, right? So you pretty much are going to need to memorize or try to memorize both the pronunciation and the transliteration. All right, so we're going to look at them. Let's see if I can move this up just a little. Okay, so on the left side is the Bagadkephat letter, right? So here, the Bagadkephat letter. Here is the pronunciation, and then here is the transliteration on the far right. Okay. So we have the bet. Let's see. Let's annotate here. Let's use red where they have it. Now you see that consonant when it has the dot inside of it. right? The dot is called that dagesh. Oh man, I wonder. Okay, let's try to write. Okay, the dot inside the bet there is called the dagesh linne, and it gives it, you know, a hard sound. All right, so the dot inside is the dagesh linne. All right, so when you have a dot inside the bet there, it's going to be B as in boy. The modern pronunciation, when the bet does not have the dot inside, it's pretty much the v as in vine. However, I pretty much go with the softer sound, as in like BH. So ba 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 ba, right? and pretty much it's like ba 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 ba, as in BH. So it's either a BH sound when it does not have the dot inside, or it's a v as in vine when it does not have the dot inside the bet there, right? All right, so for the next consonant, we have the gimel. And so when the gimel has the dagesh linne, or the dot inside of it, it's pronounced as g g g, as in God. And if the gimel does not have the dot, it's pretty much a gh, a g g, as in aghast, right? The next consonant we have is that dalet. Now, when the dalet has the dot or the dagesh linne inside of it, it's pronounced as day. But when the dalet does not have the dot or the dagesh linne inside of it, it's pretty much dh, as in the, the. All right. The next consonant or letter is your kaf, right? Your kaf. So when that kaf has the dagesh linne or the dot inside, it's pronounced k, 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 as in king. When the kaf does not have the dot or dagesh linne inside of it, it's pronounced ch, as in bach, 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 or ach. You know how we say brother, ach. Now, the pay. You see the pay, it has that dot inside of it. It has the dagesh linne inside of it. So when you see that, it's p, 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 as in pastor. When that consonant does not have the dagesh linne or the dot inside of it, it's pronounced ph, like in alphabet. Alphabet. Fay. That's where you get that fay, right? Consonant. And the last consonant or letter for the Bagadkephat acronym is the ta. Now, the ta, when it has the dagesh linne inside, right, it's pronounced t, 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 as in toy. When the tav does not have the dagesh linne inside of it, it's pronounced like a th, like the, as in thin, like a wheat thin. All right. All right. So that's your Bagadkephat. All right. So let me clear that. Pretty much, it's a baguette. This is pretty much how you say the word. Bagadkephat. See that right there? Bagadkephat. Bagadkephat. All right. All right. Stop sharing for a minute. It's a pretty long video, but this is chapter 1. All right. Next, we're going to go talk about some gutturals. So gutturals, right? 4 of the Hebrew letters are called gutturals. They are called gutturals because they are pronounced in the back of the throat. The guttural consonants are aleph, ayin, hey, and chet. Sometimes resh will also behave like a guttural. For now, you only need to memorize which of the consonants are gutturals. Later, you will learn certain rules that govern the use of these consonants. So, let's share the whiteboard and show you which are gutturals. So, the ayin, the aleph, the hey, and the het, more breathy, pronounced from the back of your throat. So, the gutturals, gutturals. So, the gutturals are what? Aleph, hey, het, and ayin, right? Sometimes, excuse me, it's resh, right? Gutturals. So aleph or hey, het, or ayin. But let's clear this. So let me write this again. So gutturals, let's write it like this. Aleph, ayin, hey, and het. And then at times the resh. All right? All right. Let's clear the drawings. Stop screen sharing just for a moment. Okay, let's talk about this. So we're going to talk about easily confused letters. Let's share the screen again. This is good to share. Easily confused letters. All right, so for the beginning student, certain pairs or groups of consonants can sometimes look alike and become confused, just as in English with the capital I and lowercase l in the word idle, right? You have probably observed also that different Hebrew letters can sound alike, just as in English with the C in cat and the K in kite. In order to avoid any confusion, it is sometimes helpful to compare the following characters and carefully note the distinguishing features. There is no need to memorize these consonant groups. It is only important that you are able to distinguish between the different letters and sounds, right? So this is something you want to take a look at as well. All right. So when you're looking at the Aramaic block script in the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia, right? The Tanakh, the Bet and the Kaf look alike, but pretty much you have to go in, look at the text as often as you can, right? Because you're pretty much going to need to go into the text as often as you can to really practice, right? So the Bet and the Kaf are going to look alike, but you're going to have to find those distinguishing marks to be able to train your eyes to tell the difference when you look at them. All right, the Gimel and the Noon are going to look alike, and you start to notice what differences, what minute differences they have, right? The hey and the het are going to look alike. They definitely could look like. Also the ta, right? The hey, the het, and the ta look alike. Hey is open, het is closed, but that ta has that little boot on the left, right? Absolutely, the sin and the shin look alike. right? The sin, the dot is on the top left. The shin, the dot is on the top right. The way to remember that is you could say it is not right to sin because sin is not on the right. The dot is not on the right. Okay, it is not right to sin. The final mem and the samek look alike, right? The dalet and the resh look alike, right? The dalet pretty much it has that tittle on the top right. That is pretty much that tittle. All right. The shade and the ayin look alike. All right. All right. And the wa with the vav and the zayin look alike, along with the wa and the final noon looking alike. You know, the numbers 8, 9, and 10 in this list, they definitely start looking alike. However, you're really going to have to go into the text, the Tanakh, the Aramaic block script as much as you can, and get familiar with the subtle differences that each consonant has so that you can be able to tell them apart when you're reading, when you're studying. Okay? Okay. Um, let's see here. These are the Hebrew consonants below, right? Number 1, 2, and 3 here that are shown. So these are Hebrew consonants that sound alike. The tet and the ta, right, with the dagesh lene, the ta with the dagesh lene sounds like the tet, right? The kof sounds like the kaf with the dagesh lene, right? And then lastly, samek and sin sound alike, right? All right. So let's look at transliteration, and then we're done. Let's look at transliteration, and then we're done. So let me say something about transliteration. Yeah, we went over that. Okay, so that's chapter 2. So let's stop the share. Let's talk about transliteration just a little bit, and then we're going to end this video. It is important to learn the system of transliteration presented as we went over in the beginning when I showed you the listing of the consonant or the letter, right? How to spell out what the consonant is called, and then we looked at the transliteration, right? And it's not for the purpose of pronouncing or reading biblical Hebrew, but for studying other books that refer to Hebrew words without using Hebrew characters. Many commentaries, word study books, theological dictionaries, and other language tools do not use Hebrew font characters, but a transliteration system whereby Hebrew letters are assigned equivalent letters from the English alphabet. In most instances, these books will list their system of transliteration somewhere at the beginning, usually between the table of contents and the first chapter or section. Some transliteration values are easily confused, so you'll need to study some transliterations carefully and observe the distinctions, right? What makes them unique. So we're going to look at them. All right. Again, let's look at these. Okay, so the Aleph and the Ayin, right? Let's annotate here. The Aleph, right? Look at the transliteration for it. And then the ayin, look at the transliteration for it. Let's actually let's make this bigger. Just for now. Okay. So we can annotate again, right? The Aleph. It's like that backwards. You know, when you're transliterating, you do that, right? But with the ayin down here, whoop. Ah, did I do that? Oh, that's okay. That's different. Oh yeah, because I'm not annotating. Let's clear the drawing. With the ayin, right? The transliteration sign. You can do that, you know. Just a little swoop. Right? Okay. Let's do it like this. Let's clear that, right? The hey and the chet, the tet, the ta, and the ta without the dagesh lene, and then the samek, the sade, the sin, and the shin. All right. We're gonna draw them out. All right. So the aleph, right? The aleph and the ayin. Right. Remember that the aleph and the ayin. What did the aleph have? The aleph had this little swoop that way. The ayin has the swoop that way. That's the transliteration, right? What's the transliteration? You're using equivalent letters in the English alphabet, right? So that's the sign for the aleph and the ayin, right? Let's see. For the hey and the chet. For the hey and for the chet, right? You pretty much have, for the hey, you have the H, right? For the chet, you have the dot under it, right? Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. You have the dot under, that's how you would see the chet, right? The tet, the tet, the ta in the Bagadkephat with the dagesh lene, and then the ta without the dagesh lene. All right. All right. So for the tet, that'll be what? T with a dot under it. And then the ta for the Bagadkephat, that's what it will be. Right? No, I'm playing. Guess what it will be? Just a plain old T. And then the ta without the dagesh linne, it'll be a T with a line underneath there. All right. And then the samek, zade, sin, and shin. Right. Let's see here. I make some space. So the samek, sade, the, let's say, shin, and the sin. All right. So the samek would be, the samek would just be the S, right? The transliteration for the samek would be the S. Then the sade, the transliteration would be the S with the dot underneath, right? For the shin, that would be the S with the arrow, right? And then the sin would have the S with the, yep, that's your transliteration symbols right there. All right, so I've already given you the numerical values for the entire Alephbet, right? So let's clear the drawings. Let's stop screen sharing. So move that back over there. That is chapter 1. That is the Alephbet and some other basic things, right? Learning what the Alephbet is called, learning the numerical value, learning the Bagadkephat, learning transliteration, learning about the gutturals, right? Pretty much you want to practice writing out from Yamin ad Shmol, or right to left, right the grapheme, right the consonant or the letter, which is the grapheme, right? And then write what the letter is called, right? Write what the consonant is called. And then next to that, write what the numerical value is for the consonant. That's pretty much what you want to practice. And you want to say them as you go along. You want to get to the point where you can say Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Wa, Zayin, Chet, Tet, Yod. Kaf, Lamed, Mem, Nun, Samek, Ayin, Pei, Sadeh, Kof, Resh, Shin, Sin, Ta. Kaf, Sophit, Mem, Sophit, Nun, Sophit, Fe, Sophit, and Sadeh, Sophit. right? You want to get to that point. So I hope this is helpful for chapter 1, getting you a strong, good, firm grasp on the foundation for beginning to learn biblical Hebrew, right? So I am your girl, Ashanti. If you have this video, you know how to reach me and my email. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach me on the messenger or the email. All right? All right. So, happy studying. Shalom, shalom. Mishpacha. Shalom, shalom.